When you say you can't do it, you have to tell yourself that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. When you want to give up, you got to know that he's your refuge in a time of help and a time of trouble.
Yeah.
Yes. You got this.
Just like,
You got
I just
this.
love this for you.
You got this.
I do.
been a single mother for what, like a year and a half. So I know it doesn't sound like a long
It's
time.
not.
But
If it's a day, you went through that. So stop diminishing and watering down yourself.
I know bad about that.
Yes.
But it's okay.
But
So-
you know, sometimes God will take away the things that you want, that you think that's good for you. What God take away is not always a punishment. Sometimes it's protection.
I believe
to
that.
protect the heart.
Yeah. You know, you talk about that in your book about rejection.
Yes.
And we
Rejection is redirection.
Rejection is redirection.
Yes.
It's redirection.
And what is that?
I think I underlined it. I wrote it. I was
Yeah,
like,
rejection is, it builds resilience. 1,000 no's will equal a godly yes. One godly yes is all you need.
Yes, one yes.
Thank you for telling me no. Thank you for shutting the door in my face. Thank you for walking out on me.
Sometimes no is a protection
Yeah.
and not punishment.
you just don't see it.
God's not going to let you cross the threshold holding on to people he's not intending for you to take with you where he has you going. And you don't, and I've said this 1,000 times. It's like, I believe in you, God. I know that you're over there, but I'm comfortable right here with this person. I'm comfortable here. They bring me, I don't want to get uncomfortable.
But when God is stretching you and taking you to a different elevation of life, he don't allow you to get comfortable, because when you get comfortable, you get relaxed. And when you get
Stagnant.
relaxed, you get stagnant. And when you get stagnant, you can't see what's getting ready to come your way. The blessings that I almost miss, they come quiet sometimes. And sometimes they be right there. And because we don't hear or see it, we drop it.
I had to learn that things will happen, and I try to let go of the whole timing thing or being in control. I'm big on being in control, and I feel like everything in my life is pointing at me to let go of control. And I'm like, but I have. I'm like, what else do you want me to do? I've let go of so much stuff. I mean, you can take whatever, but like, I'm going to be walking around naked at that point, because like, but I want to be in control of everything. And you talk about timing on certain things and being attached to something meaningful. I find meaning in everything.
Because we have our hands in it all the time, he can't do anything. And I say that because I've done that. I used to want to control everything. And even with my kids, when they was going through so much, I used to pray and say, God, I give it to you. I give it to you. But I go right back and pick it up. And God would say, no, how do you want me to do it if you keep coming putting your hands on it? You got to let go. But sometimes we got to say, okay, God, I'm going to take my hands off and I'm going to let you do what you do best. I'm going to let you take care of this. Because sometimes we put ourselves in situations or the role that we have more power than God.
No.
As humans, we do that. Like, we can overpower God or we can beat God at doing this. Not true.
Like saving someone, always wanting to save someone.
And sometimes we got to let them fall.
I know.
Hit rock bottom. Because once they fall and hit rock bottom, God is going to give them the strength to get back up.
Yeah. Oh, it took a lot. That right there. That was the hardest thing I've ever had to do, is let go and realize that like I can pick you up every time. I can take you, I can wash you off, bathe you, just for you to go back and get dirty again. And releasing that, it's almost like, but God, I'm here. I'm on this earth. I can help you. I can help him.
Yeah, but
Like, I
see,
can help him.
We want to manage what God wants to be surrendered. We
Yeah.
want to manage him, but God wants him to surrender. So as long as we're managing
Stepping in.
and stepping in,
Yeah, I never looked at it like
he'll
that.
never surrender. Because guess what he's saying? I know if this happened,
Yeah.
she's coming. I know if this happened, shielding and protecting him, isolating him for a reason. He's isolating him for the next level of life. Because there's greater there. God said there's a purpose. I'm not going to let nobody kill that or destroy that. Because if he constantly stay on the street, somebody's going to either take his life or he's going to take his life. So isolation is for his protection. It hurts. Trust me. It hurts. But it's also helping him to get to where God wants him to be. This is his surrendering stage. Guarantee you right now, he's going to go through so much. Because
I mean, do you think like, well, how much more can that person go through? One of the person, and I know I let go of, I walked away a long time ago. I had to stop enabling. I was a big enabler because it made me comfortable. It made me feel good. So it's like sometimes we do things for other people, not always, but that's the thing with enabling and enabling a drug addict or someone that's addicted to drugs, because when they're calling you and they're begging you for $20, you want them to get what they want because it brings you comfort. And now, okay, I did that. They're good with me now. I'm comfortable. Or yeah, I let him come back in because I just couldn't handle I couldn't handle the pain of him being outside. So I let him come back in, but you're just shielding him from the surrender of God. And it takes a lot to do that. It took me, I used to watch YouTube videos on enabling, and then I would be like, okay, whatever, I'm done. Shut up. I don't know. If he calls me and he needs something that makes him feel better and makes him not want to call me for 2 days, I'm going to give him that. So you ultimately are doing it for yourself and you're not actually doing it for the person. Picking them up every time, bailing them out of jail. That's one thing. You won't call me because I'm not bailing you out of jail. Because you do have somewhere safe to sleep tonight. You do have food. I know that like you're good. You are not on the streets tonight. And it took me a long time to get there. And that's the one thing I was always good at, was I would not bail you out of jail because I can sleep tonight because I know you're safe. To an extent, I know jail's, but you're safe. You have somewhere to sleep. You're not sleeping in the streets. I could bear the pain of being the person that loves a drug addict. I don't ever want to fathom the pain that drug addict has to go through every day of their life. So
exactly.
I had to step away and allow that to happen and allow him to be where he's at right now. But it'll never take the pain away.
Helping him by being an advocate for someone who doesn't even have a voice right now.
Yeah.
And, I tell people all the time, no, I can't tell somebody I know what it feels like to be homeless or be on drugs. I was never on drugs or homeless, but I can tell you, I know what it's like to be a single mother, raising kids by myself, or I know what it's like to struggle or not having a father. I can tell you that. But some conversations people talk on, oh, I know what they feel. No, you don't.
No.
You don't know the hurt and the brokenness and the reason why they ended up on drugs or alcohol. And you don't know unless you have experienced that life for yourself.
And you don't want to. You don't want to have to experience that.
And someone that's rich can't tell somebody that's poor, I know what you're going. No, you don't.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah, you don't. How do you understand when you've never been in that situation?
Exactly.
So, you got to pick and choose what conversations, what battles, what to say to people, what not to say to people. Oh, I understand. I cannot tell Calvin that I understand. I know. No, I don't.
want to understand how he feels because I've never, that pain may not be something I could ever handle.
Yes. And he's not going through this pain because he can't handle it.
Yeah.
He's been going through this pain
Since he was a child.
since a child. So you guys to know that there's something greater for him. God doesn't give this to soldiers who can't fight these battles. He's a soldier. Do you know that's why he endures so much? Because he can fight these battles. God knows that.
I know, you just want to take them. It's like having your child. They stub their toe or they're crying, they're sad. You want to take that pain away from them. You want to give them the toy because the toy's going to shut them up.
Yeah.
But we do. We want to do that. We want to comfort other people to comfort ourselves. And that's what people tell me all that. They comment, "You're so strong." That's so kind of you to say. Or, "I'm sorry for your pain." My pain, I can bear my pain. The pain that these people that are battling mental health issues, the pain that people are battling drug addiction, homelessness, being a single mother, being a single father, not being able to pay bills, or someone that wants to be a mother one day or wants to be a father one day, that they feel like their time's running out. Just have empathy for those people. You don't have to put yourself in their shoes. You don't have to say, "I'm sorry." Just be like, "Okay, I see you." And as a human being, you being a single mother, the pain you deal with and you had to go through and what you struggle with. And then I have, the pain of loving people that are addicted to drugs. And that's what I tell you all the time. And people say, well, your story is just so this or that. We all have stories. But mine is what God knew I could bear and knew what he could use me to advocate for my purpose is that. It doesn't, the severity of the situation does not take away from your story and your pain and what you're going through.
That's right.
We got to stop comparing pain. We're all human. We're all hurting somewhere inside. Nobody's 100%.
That's like labor. As women, when we go into labor, everybody doesn't have
The same experience.
same experience. Some people have their baby in 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Some people go in labor and stay there 16. I was in labor 16 and a half hours with my first child.
Mm-hmm.
A mercy.
He didn't cause you a lot. He's like,
A lot of pain. So
yeah.
that's what God tells me.
Mm-hmm.
You can endure. I gave this to you young. You knew what labor was like at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you can endure pain because look at what you went through as a young girl, enduring labor pains, hard labor pains. So that's what I feel like with life when we are in a birthing season spiritually. We physically go through labor and delivery. Physically. That's like we do spiritually. To be able to push, to be able to breathe, to be able to push, to be able to breathe. And then at that moment, you just birthed it out. Greatness, purpose. Like your baby. That's greatness. That's purpose.
And it's the most relieving
Feeling. Yes. So when you go through pain and you birth out purpose, you're like, this is what I've been waiting on all my life. This is the birthing I've been waiting on. I've been waiting on this purpose right here. This is what I have cared for 9 to 10 months or maybe a year. Because sometimes the labor be so intense because the blessings be so big and intense. The purpose be so great that you're gonna experience labor.
When that labor is over, now you have this child.
Yes.
You're going to go through a lot more pain. People think that once they get the success, the pain's not over, the work's not over.
That's when it starts.
Yeah.
I love my kids and they're grown, but I experience more pain as adults with them than as kids. The labor doesn't stop. The pain doesn't stop. It gets more intense.
And you have to worry about your children being out here in the world.
In the world.
And the world's cruel. And you don't want your babies to have to go through that because they're still your babies even when they are 29, 31, 28. And then seeing them have babies and then now you have to protect those grandbabies. Even when you get the blessing, you got to keep going. You don't just get like, okay, well, I got what I wanted and then forget about God.
As soon as God give us just a little of the blessing, just a little bit of it, we start praying, we start praising, we start talking to him. And then we wonder why the blessings are held up because you stop communicating with God. Right then, you thought God just gave you the biggest blessing of your life. The whole entire time, the big blessing was at the end.
Yeah.
God was just saying how long you was going to keep pressing. I lost myself loving everybody else but me. I lost me. The only person who I felt like had me was me. I lost myself loving everyone but myself. And I couldn't do it anymore.
Oh.
I had to go back and find me because being lost or isolated or in a dark place by yourself, that's not fun. But then you also know that when you are in a dark place, that's how flowers and stuff grow in darkness. It's not the light that grows things. Being in a dark place is what grows you.
It's underneath what we don't see. The roots.
Surface, the roots is what grows you. Being in my dark place, being underneath, it grew me to who I am right now.
I know. I see a lot of me. I do, because I never want to be alone, and now I'm like, I want to be alone. Because I found myself and then loving other people and giving to other people, and now that I've like retracted, and I'm like, no, I have to be full. I have to be me. I have to be fully myself, and able to then love other people that now I don't give my love to other people. I love my family and friends and, you know, stuff like that. The necessity amount. But I seem to retract with like, no, I can't deal with other people's emotions anymore. I dealt with people's emotions my whole life, but then I had to deal with mine. And I think I put up a big guard where now I'm like, and I'm just almost like numb of like, I'm in my purpose. I'm doing this and this is what I'm doing. And I block everything else out. And I'm like, y'all are going to understand one day. But then I do see myself, the kids outside playing and I'm inside working. And I'm like, oh, but I'm doing it for them. I'm doing it for them. But it's like, then you're missing out on your blessing and the blessings I'm missing because I'm in there working thinking, I have to get this out tonight. I have to do this tonight. And it's like, well, because I'm scared that what if my blessings, my purpose comes to fruition. I'm trying to hurry it up to make sure my parents can enjoy it, you know? And if I don't get in there and work and post this and do this and I go out there while they're here and spend time with them, then what if that one day that I could have been working and pitching or clipping and doing all that, what if I'm a day short? If I would have spent that day working and not out there where they're at right now, then maybe they would have been here, you know? So it's like I'm trying to beat God's clock.
But see, that's not how it works.
I know.
Because the thing is, like I said, sometimes what we're praying for is already there. It's there. And when you have done so much, God is not going to punish you for loving you and doing for you. I say that because I've always put myself on the back burner. And do you know how it feels for me to be able to get in my car on Saturdays and I enjoy my ride by myself, or I go to the nail shop by myself, or because I'm always on the phone for everybody else. Ding, ding, phone ringing, texting, people calling. I'm going here, I'm going there. I had to take a breather for me.
Yeah. Well, I used to be the person that would always answer. Everybody knew like you're going to answer the phone, and I don't answer the phone anymore. I don't. And then it was like I was always the person that was going to answer the phone, going to be there, and then I'm like I don't open my messages. I don't answer the phone because especially if it's blocking me from getting my work done. I'm not going to. And being by myself now, I think I've learned to love it so much that I now don't even know how to allow anybody to come in.
Get in your space.
Yeah, and I took over a road trip because everybody ditched me. It's okay. No, no, my sister did too. And I went up to Ohio to Cincinnati, and I stayed. And I'm used to being by myself, even in different places far away. And I got there, called her. I said, I'm going to leave. I'm going to come back home. I've been there for 5 minutes because I go into this home, and the home, it was so beautiful. And I looked at it, and I'm like, who cares if there's nobody to spend it with or experience it with? And that's the thing. Materialistic stuff doesn't matter and all that. It's about the time that you have with the ones you love.
So let me ask you, ladies, if there's one thing you need God to do in your life right now, just one, what would it be? And are you willing to trust him with it, even if the process looked different than what you expected?
What I asked God for so many years, all the nights, the times I didn't even want to like God or know God, or I was so mad at him. Deep down, I knew that everything's temporary. All feelings you're going to be sad, let it go. Happiness will come again. And I knew that God had something in store for me, but I just had to trust his process. And took a long time. But yeah, up until last year, I finally was like, just take everything. Take my apartment. Take my car if you have to. Take all my friends. Take everything. So I feel like I'm exactly in that place of my life right now. I do want to go farther. And now I think I'm just kind of stuck here in limbo. Or like I'm in a blessing right now. I'm in an answered prayer right now. Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
So you're in your right now season.
I'm in my right now that I prayed for this right now.
That's good.
And there's still pain in it though. And there's always going to be pain in it. But it's just how do you cope with it? How do you handle it?
Because you're in your birthing season. You're gonna experience Your first trimester, your second trimester, your third trimester. Then at the end, that's where the big push come in.
I feel like I'm in my third trimester.
Uncomfortable, pain, stress, and that's where we miss the blessing and the breakthrough. Right when God is getting ready to do something, right? We tend to either forfeit it or we forget that we're in the season where you just got to keep pressing until something happens. And right there at the end, we give up and we miss out on everything. If we just keep pushing, even when the pain get harder, even when we're going through life, just keep going. Because see, the enemy knows that you're right there where God wants you to be. And here comes a distraction or something. Like right now, the enemy know you right here at your breakthrough. So here's Calvin in jail, right? Something that he thinks that's going to distract you with.
It just pushes me to go harder.
Go harder.
It makes me, hey, I'm coming for all y'all.
Go,
I'm going to be mayor one day. I'm coming for the whole city.
Go harder.
Yes, it makes me want to just do more.
Because distraction is real.
Oh, yes. That's why I don't have a man in my life.
Distraction is real.
I still got my ex and my Calvin. He's always going to have a foot in that. Not in a romantic relationship at all. I think I used to be so ashamed of that, of wanting to speak about our story. I didn't want people to think like, oh, she's still in love with him. I don't care what y'all think now.
But who?
I will always have love for you. I will always love that man as someone that has been in my life since I was a child. Who cares what y'all think? People, my last name. I used to be so embarrassed. I still had his last name, but I kept it for a reason. I knew I have no expectations on anything because that's when you get disappointed. I trust God that I don't need to try to envision what it's going to be. It's not for me to know yet.
It's not. That's
so
right.
you just have to let go of. Yeah, I just need to learn how to we all have stuff to work on. So yeah.
We do. A lot.
You can answer.
Okay. Mine's a lot shorter.
I know. I don't know. I try to over-explain myself.
No. For mine, patience, strength, and I don't want to say jealousy because it's not jealousy. I envy all these families that are still together. Patience and strength, not with just my children, but with other people that I have to deal with daily, that you try so hard to push out of the way, but you can't push them out of the way because you just can't for legal reasons. So you try to, I pray for the strength to deal with it the best way I can, the most mature way I can, the nicest way I can almost. I don't know, that sounds silly, but it's just, I don't know. I'll start thinking about the what ifs. What if I would have done this? What if I wouldn't have done this? Where would I be? But kind of like you said, I never thought I would be in the position I'm in right now. But I've come to accept it for the time being. I know what's meant to be will be in its own time. I'm 30. I'm telling myself we're still young, but I'm just like, whoa, I'm 30. It's time to slow down. So I don't know, patience.
Patience is the key. Patience is the key.
It's,
Just think about when we go to the ER. We go to restoration first, right? Then we go to triage. Then they take you back to the waiting room. It's in your waiting season where you get all the answers. You just went, restoration got your information. Triage just got your blood pressure and your temperature. Now you're waiting on the doctor. That's how it is with life.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at right now.
In triage?
You waiting on God to really just come in and just give you the full diagnostic. Tell me what's going on, God. Mm-hmm. Tell me what I need to work on. Tell me what I need to fix. Tell me how it's going to happen. It's our waiting season that really gets us to where we want to be. We got to wait. And when we go to the ER, we be so tired because we sit there all day and all night. Sometimes when you sit, you get exactly what you need to know. You might go for an ear infection. Something might be wrong with your liver or your kidneys. But you have to see the doctor first. Because the triage nurse can't tell you, you got liver problems or...
Yeah.
So waiting is necessary.
I'm good though.
I feel like you also had to do something I feel like people get confused with be still and wait as to do nothing.
Yeah.
But when you're sitting in that waiting room, you see somebody beside you, talk to them, that person might change your life.
Yes.
There are things you can do in your waiting season, when you're waiting to go back to see the doctor. If you want to write, you might sit there and you might start writing, and it may become a book one day.
Yeah.
Do something in your waiting season. Be obedient, and just you still have to work. You still have to have
faith without works is dead.
Yeah. So that your faith is knowing the doctor's coming.
Yeah.
Your works is what you're doing in that waiting season while you're waiting for the doctor. Are you prepared to give him the answers he's going to ask you?
I'm gonna ask you: do you drink? Do you smoke? When was your last cycle? Are you?
God, that's a very uncomfortable question.
Oh yeah. Do you feel like you can harm someone or yourself? You're like, Doc. Yeah, I was that waiting room. I did. Can we ask you the same question back?
Yeah, you sure can. Well, with me, if I could give anything to God today, it'd actually be my children, my family. And the reason why I say that is taking my hands off of things and let God work on my family. Are we perfect? No. Do they go through things? Yes. I want them to have a better relationship with God for themselves. I say that because I could pray all day and all night. And of course, God is going to hear my prayers. But God would definitely hear their prayers if they go into prayer for themselves and just trust God even when they're going through. Sometimes their faith is unwavering because of the things they endure and go through. But I want them to be able to be like Job. Though you slay me, yet I trust you. If I lose everything, but I still trust you. I want them to know that they can lose everything and still trust God. I mean, even with their children, being in a battle at times where I know they are good fathers. And not being able to see your children when you want to because there's disagreement between the parents. And then we got children caught up in the midst of chaos. So I want them to have a relationship with God to where if I pray without ceasing, things would change. Not praying with chaos, not praying with dysfunction, not praying with getting angry and upset. But if I really just pray and trust God that my situation would change. I think I laid a lot of things before God a long time ago. That's why I'm able to do what I do now. Because at one point in my life, I was angry with God. Very much angry with God. Because I was telling God, there's no way you the God that of the universe, or the God that make the impossible possible, make things happen, and you allow me to go through this? You that God? God, do I really believe that who you say you are? The father of Isaac, Jacob, and Abraham? That God? You can't be God. And you allow me to go through verbal abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse, being broken, being shattered, a single mother. Come on, God. Should I trust you for real? I'm talking about questioning God in real life.
Yeah.
To where I was angry, didn't care if I went to church or anything, but I still trusted him. So I'm like, how am I trusting you? And I'm angry. It's okay to be angry, but you trusted me in the midst of it all. So you have to know when to give it to him and leave it there. Because I was picking up everything. So God was like, do you really trust me? For real. And then to see my family go through, my son got locked up for 6 months. Had drug trafficking charges. Never got anything off my son. Never. But I feel like the enemy was testing my faith. My faith never wavered. I never. I trusted God more than ever. And I remember being at church one Thursday night at choir practice. And God told me to leave church. He said, leave and go to Limestone County Jail. He said, you take that oil that you have and you go and start anointing every door at that jail. He said, no, you can't go in the cell because he's locked up.
Yeah.
But I want you to have enough faith to believe that I'm getting ready to open up them jail doors for your son. I went to Limestone County Jail and I put oil on every door that I could touch. And I stood out there and I prayed. And I got back in my car and I left. And he called me the next day and he said, they gave me a bond, $250,000. I said, I'm coming to get you out of jail. That is bonded $2.3 million for nothing. For nothing.
Goodness.
Yeah.
For nothing. Didn't get anything. I was there. Didn't have anything on him. Didn't get anything off of him. Because word of mouth. Somebody, but like I told him, I serve a God that never sleeps nor slumber. I trust God. And I told him, I said, I want you to go in there. I want you to get in your word. I want you to pray like never before. I said, this is not punishment. This is protection. And when I tell you, he learned more about God in them 6 months than he ever knew about God. Because when he was calling me, giving me the word, I knew that he was in the word.
You have an amazing son.
Yes.
And he vouches for you. And you know that I thought about that when you said when you had your kids, both of your sons and your daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I just know Kentay more personally.
And I've met him for the first time the other night, and we just had a great conversation. He is so nice.
And he always encouraged
Yeah.
Oh,
me to keep going, keep pushing.
and when he texted me, he said, "Hey, this is my mom's book," and I was like, "Oh, okay, absolutely." I went and ordered it then.
And you send me a message.
And yeah, because it's like through him, I have so much love for him that he didn't have to ask twice. He didn't know. I'm like, yes, I will do. So just know that you are an amazing mother. You are the mother that your mother was to you, to them.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what he may be going through, does not take away from how you mothered him, because the love he has for you and the kind of how he is to me and will talk to me and is there and has called me up out of the blue and been like, just calling to check in. And that's what I told you. I said, that's one person I know I can pick up the phone and not talk to for 6 months. And he might not answer right then, but he's going to call back. Mm-hmm. He's always going to call back. And we might not see each other for years, but he's always a ear. He's always going to give you that ear to listen.
Because I was the ear. And I think that was embedded in the, I listen to everybody. Mm-hmm. And everybody calls me. Everybody inbox me. All their friends. I was like a mom to them. Yeah. Even though they had their moms, I was that mom they could call. I'd get up and go pick them up. They all stayed at my house. So I've always been a mother figure. And I'm still that. Mm-hmm. I mean, I get so much respect from people. But I even saw when you got on my post, you said you inspired,
Yes. You were studying and been at work all day, working a full-time job, mm-hmm. and going back to get a degree, and being a mother and a grandmother, and ministry.
And cooking. I mean,
yeah.
I went to bed at 12:30, and I was up at 5 o'clock this morning. It's called determination, but it's called discipline. You got to stay consistent. But when you are disciplined in what God has given you, things will work. Even when you're on your tired days, I rely on his strength. Mm-hmm. They tell me at work all the time, Miss Shenequa, how do you be going like that?
You do need to get some rest, though. I learned that.
I do.
Have to get some rest.
I do. When I tell you, I really do. I'm home. My home is quiet.
I love that for you.
My husband doesn't bother me. When I say my safe haven, that's my safe place. Mm-hmm. And for years, I had to learn, I'm being so honest, even on this podcast, I had to let my guard down with my husband for my husband to love me, because I had went through so much young and I was afraid.
Yeah.
Of letting my guard down, afraid of getting hurt. And when I let my guard down, I mean, best thing ever. For 24 years, never put his hands on me, not verbally abusive, not mentally abusive. Whatever my wife say, that's my husband. Whatever my wife say. Kentay say, oh, it's always whatever your wife say. But we have a brother and sister type bond as well, not just husband and wife. But we had to learn to love ourselves before we could love each other. I had to find me before I could love my husband. I love my husband, but I wanted to make sure that I could love my husband without hurting my husband or me getting hurt. Because I didn't just want to pour into anybody and
Yeah.
I get hurt.
And you put him in there also, which is it shows your character, because we always are worried about us getting hurt. But sometimes we have to look at like that. Your husband wanted a woman, a godly woman. I'm sure you had to think like you're not just receiving someone. It's not your person. You have to be what you want from someone for that person as well. So making sure that you're not going to hurt that person and project and treat them a way that just because of how you were treated. They don't deserve to be punished.
But before I do that, I'm not a hurt person, so I don't hurt people.
Yeah.
And before I hurt you, I'll go on and you go on with no hard feelings.
That still hurts though.
It hurt.
It does hurt.
It hurt, but
Yeah.
when you the older you get and you realize that you can do more damage to a person with being there.
If you love them, let them go. If they return, then yeah. Well, you are very inspiring.
Thank you.
Very much so. And before we could do like part 4, but we do now at the end of every episode want someone to highlight a nonprofit, and I know you have your own nonprofit.
Believe to Achieve nonprofit. I started that when Kendrick and Kentavious and Anasia was in elementary. I started that because I wanted people to believe that you can achieve if you don't give up. And through all that, I was able to fund my own nonprofit. Back to school events, youth events, doing different things in the community, coat drives. I did my 7th annual coat drive in December. I gave away 300 coats to the kids from every area, from Florence, Decatur, Athens, Tennessee. Back to school events, I gave away shoes and clothes. And so I try to do that to people who are not able to do it for themselves. Trying to do it again in August. The Crown and Call Girl Mentorship, I just started that in March. I wanted girls to know who they are and whose they are. I want to know their worth, their value, and what it takes to become women. So I'm also working on my first pageant, June the 27th. And right now I have 15 girls that's going to be in the pageant. Still working on more, but...
Is there a place that people can sign up or get information about the pageant?
Yeah, I have sponsorship letters. I have forms that I will give to you.
Okay, yeah.
Like I said, first time. First time.
There's got to be a first time.
God said, no longer will you sit on anything that I have given you. And the sad part is, I'm going to be honest, being a nonprofit is hard because you pour out, you pour out, you pour out, and you feel like no one is there to pour back into your cup. But I trust God to be the resource and the source because he provides at all times.
He will. At
all times. And I see so many people in the community, and I said, whether you give me a plaque, whether you recognize me, I'm gonna do God's work.
Absolutely.
But I see so many people, and I always say it, on live, off live, on podcast. Are we doing it for likes and accolades? Are we doing it to help in real life? Are we doing it so we can be seen? Because majority of the time now, people are doing it for likes and what they can get out of it. That's not it. That's not what God give you that for.
The thing I hate the most, the only thing I hate about, is social media. I wish I could do it without social media. I wish I could do it without telling anybody I'm doing it.
But you can't.
I wish I just had the money and I could just do it and go out in the community. But no, I can't. I don't. And so social media, yeah, the likes, I don't care if you like it.
Yeah.
Because God doesn't need 100,000 followers. The followers, likes, doesn't matter. Because guess what? That pageant's still going to happen without your finger on that firewall phone screen.
Yeah, I did a brunch April 25th. I don't know if you saw it. It was called the Royal Table Brunch under the mentorship under Crown and Called. The girls crowned their mothers. The mothers crowned their daughters. Had speakers. My sister-in-law came from Mississippi, Hattiesburg. She spoke. She's a victim, so she spoke to the young girls, and it was nice. Very nice.
I need to start paying more attention. I hate social media, so I really just get on, post, and get off. So I need to start actually looking at stuff.
I will send you all.
Yeah, I need to do better about actually looking and reading stuff. I hate to be on there and just take in everything, but then you miss the blessings that could have, I mean, I see events. So I'm like, if I would have got on there and looked, that would have been good for our nonprofit. But I'm so into I don't want to ingest all the social media stuff.
And we're gonna do
miss your blessings.
We're gonna be with the rally with Ride or Die Addiction.
Oh yes,
Lori,
you are.
I'm on the flyer. With her.
So Miss Lori did send me that.
Yes.
And she reached out to me about Calvin also after all the stuff that had been going on social media with that. Yeah. And she was like, I did not realize that I was yours and Calvin's property manager. Yes. And I was like, yeah.
Yes. So she goes to my church.
Ago. Okay, I did see you on that flyer. Yes. We were supposed to be setting up a table there as well.
I'm over the youth at our church. So youth night, I was going to speak on youth night.
Well, yeah, we will be there.
Okay.
I have that I do have that down because she did message me the flyer and I did see you on that.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is the 8th annual. Is it the 8th?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
It's her 8th annual.
Yeah, we'll be there November Saturdays.
Yeah.
It was amazing to talk to you, and thank you for coming.
Of course.
And talking to us, Olivia. I loved it. I feel like you got so much out of this tonight.
Made me cry. I don't cry.
I know. I was shocked when I looked over at you. Oh, can we all say happy birthday to Kentay? It's going to be his 30th birthday on May 20th.
Yes.
Okay, well, happy 30th birthday, Kentay.
Happy birthday, Kentay. Welcome to the 30th club.
I'm a GANGSTA.
Depending on how I feel today.
Happy birthday. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I love that.